Mr. Speaker, worthy members of the opposition, my esteemed partners, and members of Parliament, thank you guys for being here today. If one's physical health is poor, they will be unable to function. For example, my friend's confined to a wheelchair and unable to work. Getting in and out of her car, not being able to shower on her own, and not being able to cook for herself are just a few examples of how her life has been impacted since she has become physically disabled. Her health continues to decline because she is unable to exercise and is unable to eat a balanced diet because she isn't working. So she doesn't have enough money to be able to pay for, the expensive vegetables and stuff like that. She is extremely depressed because she is trapped in a circumstance from which she cannot physically escape. The reason her hip is broken in the first place is because she did not partake in regular physical activity. Her hip muscle began to degenerate, which caused the break. This issue that she struggles with could have been avoided if she took better care of her body. This example shows the ripple effect of what can happen if one is not nurturing their body. Taking care of your physical well-being can aid in the treatment of depression and anxiety. If you establish a pattern of self-care, you will be addressing a variety of both mental and physical issues. If you go to a psychiatrist, they're probably going to ask you questions such as what are your sleeping habits, nutrition, whether you exercise often. They ask these questions because physical has a direct effect on psychological. They wouldn't ask these questions if they weren't important. This is why concentrating on one's bodily well-being is preferable to concentrating on one's mental well-being. What if you want to push yourself physically but are unable to because you have a chronic condition that must be addressed first and foremost by taking care of your body? I'm not saying mental health is insignificant, but it comes nowhere close to the importance of physical health. Now let's get in response to the opposition. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that the House was not addressing professional athletes. The people were classified by the House as being between the ages of 35 and 60. Professional athletes, according to data, suffer from mental health crisis as a result of the stress of being an athlete, while taking excellent care of themselves physically. So the stress is coming from an outside source, which, anyways. I also wanted to clarify that I define physical as a person's physical well-being, including any illnesses. Whether or not type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disorder or not, it's still a problem with the body that if left untreated can lead to life-threatening condition. Also, I stated that living a healthy lifestyle requires eating nutritious foods, which can aid in the treatment of any of those two conditions, type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Although insulin is an important aspect of treating diabetes 1, monitoring carbs, fat, protein can also help blood sugar levels. Diabetic complications can lead to stroke, visual problems, foot ulcers, kidney damage, and plenty of other issues, including mental health issues. Now let's talk about longevity. How can one live a long life if they aren't physically capable because they are deceased? Let's talk about diabetes 1 again. If a person is focusing on their mental well-being without taking care of their physical, how will that help someone who is suffering from diabetes? It won't, because that person's ailment isn't fixed by being mentally strong. Diabetes 1 is treated by balancing medications, sticking to a daily exercise routine, and by sticking to a nutrition plan. It's said that if a person isn't dealing with these physical challenges, they may end up suffering psychologically. I have many, many more examples, but only a little bit of time. So with that being said, for all these reasons, vote for the government.